Yo, what is good, gentlemen? How the hell are we?
What's going
Good to be
on?
back.
Good.
Good to be back.
Fancy's back with the sleeves off.
Oh
Gives a
yeah.
little gun show action. Boom. And yeah, I mean, look, we were gone for a month. We're back. There's no football stuff going on. It was kind of boring. But like I told you boys, we are literally 2 Thursdays away from football. We just got to deal with tomorrow, next Thursday, and then all of a sudden it's Chiefs, Ravens, Packers, Eagles, and college football on Saturday. I mean, it's gonna be a great,
Yeah, gonna hit the
great time.
ground running with that slate that we talked about before.
Yeah.
Of that first week, it's gonna be amazing.
First week's gonna be amazing. There's some college football this weekend though. I guess they're
Yes.
playing,
This is the first.
and they're playing in overseas. It's like Georgia Tech and I forgot. I went to
Yeah,
do my research on it.
I
Is it
just
Georgia
look.
Tech and are they in Brazil?
I
Know
don't
why
know. I
that
looked
sounds
at
right.
that though. It's like a tournament style game. Like it's
Yeah.
an opening weekend kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I always thought it was basically NCAA's 1 week off of NFL
Yeah.
traditionally.
That's what I
So
thought.
yeah. So when I saw that, but it's only one game. It's not. There's not
Okay.
opening
It's not a
slate of
slate.
games.
It's not like it's not like a slate of games. It's just the one game then. Okay. Well, hey, we get to watch a game at least. You know what I mean? Give us a little something, and it actually will matter because it is an actual, um, you know, game, not just
Right.
preseason. So, but we have a fun podcast in store today. We hope you guys are tuning back in. We hope you guys are excited for this new season just as much as we are. We're gonna go through our teams. Matt's idea was for us to kind of predict our record as the schedule is set. 2 weeks away, so we have the freshest intel in terms of injuries. None of our teams have been hit with big ones yet. Knock on wood. Even though there has been some big ones around the league that we'll get to. I'll start us off, I guess. Being the great host that I am.
Let's see it.
I'll start off with the Eagles' schedule. I have them losing 4 games total. I didn't think me or Fancy were going to take that loss, at least owning it up to each other, right off the rip. But I do think that game would be 50-50. And then I think we win week 2, week 3 pretty easily. Week 4, like I told you guys, we're going back in Tampa. And I just think that's going to be one of those things where we want to, beat the hell out of them after they knocked us out of the playoffs last year. So we're going to want a little bit more revenge. Early bye gets us ready to go for the Browns. Like I said, at home. Doesn't really scare me too much without Joe Flacco being there, which I think if me and Fancy said that 2 years ago, we would probably laugh our asses off. But I don't think the Browns are as good as they are offensively with Deshaun Watson. Who knows? Week 6, maybe he's like MVP caliber again. Who knows? I don't know. But we always beat the Giants at home, or I'm sorry, at away. And then I was telling you, Matt, me and you did our predictions, either a podcast or episode or 2 ago, where we picked Joey Burrow as the MVP. I think going into week 8 in Cincinnati, I think it's going to be, if Joe Burrow is going to be having the season that we both think is going to be happening, it's going to be tough to go into Cincinnati and beat them.
As long
but
as
there is some Jamar Chase.
that's what I was gonna say. The
Thing.
contract.
He kind of just came in today, and
I love the fact that he is owning up, and it's a hold in, not a hold out. He's still showing up to the facility. He's still going to practice. He's just not participating. So I think it's very hopeful. Obviously, it's still going to get done. It's not the complete holdouts, like we're seeing with CD. So as long as that gets straightened out, without that offensive weapon, you might be changing that loss there. So
yeah, I think there's no way that. I think there's some guys that love football so much. Same thing with CD. I think they just want to play, and so it's like they're gonna. I mean, hopefully Jerry doesn't, because as an Eagles fan, that'd be hilarious and it'd be great if they lost him. But the difference between the two, not to get off track here, but the difference between the two is what's interesting is CD's is up this year, like it's up after this season. Jamar Chase still has 2 years, so that's what's interesting with Jamar Chase.
Gotcha.
It's like he's seeing everyone else get paid, and he's almost just like, let me get paid real quick before I get hurt or something. And it's like that's where we can go into a whole debate on that, but that's where the whole big contract thing is getting out of hand. Is some of these guys, it's like once they see a deal get done, it's like they just void their contract that's currently there, which is just that's not just how the world works. You know what I mean? It's like you still have 2 years left, man. It's like that's a long time. Like CDs is a little bit more understandable because everyone's getting paid and he does deserve to get paid, but it's like you still have a year. It's like some team will pay you after that I don't know. We can go a whole debate on that, but so yeah, we'll see what happens there. But I do think if the Bengals are up and running, I can see them. I can see them losing that game for sure. And then I have them winning in Jacksonville, Sunday Night Football, home, all that good stuff. And then of course that one Cowboys loss that we always take that we'll nonstop hear about all year long as they lose first game of the playoffs.
That's their Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's their Super Bowl week 10. It's in Dallas, so they should win. If they don't, it's gonna be hilarious. And then we beat Washington at home. And then like I said, I think the Rams could potentially take the NFC West. I know that'd be a big letdown for the 49ers. I just think if the Rams offense is firing on all cylinders, and like you said, Matt, if Matthew Stafford can stay healthy, I think that's going to be a team that is really going to be a team to look out for. I think a lot of people are underestimating them just because of the fact that they snuck into playoffs last season, but Matthew Stafford lost he missed a lot of time last season too. So the fact that they made it last year, I think is that trend in the right direction for them. Um, and then the Ravens, I mean, Ravens at home in December. I mean, it's gonna be a hell of a game to watch for sure. It's just gonna be a nitty gritty, cold, fucking Baltimore run defense, type of game. And it just wouldn't surprise me. These aren't, I mean, just like all of us, these aren't games that we all can go down there and we can all justify as fans on who we think is going to win, and we can say all of our teams for 17 games. You know what I mean? We could make it happen and seem like they're going to win them all, but football happens. People lose these games. Like week 14, we saw the Panthers take out how many teams last year? It was like, what the hell just happened? You know what I mean? It's football. There's going to be more losses on this than I probably predicted. Some of these games will hopefully win. But I
One
mean,
one thing
go.
I got for you real quick, Jake, is just looking at your schedule. I didn't really realize I didn't walk through it before. You kind of have the best of one side and the worst of it. So you have the NFC South that you guys get to play. That's amazing for your schedule, right?
Yeah,
I
compared to
mean,
the AFC North.
then you have the AFC side, and you have that's 2 of your losses right there, right? You got Bengals and Ravens. We think that Steelers are still going to be competitive.
Yeah,
Browns
I
are
mean
still going to
that's
be,
that's another loss right there too. You're right. We can have 3 losses. I mean, even the Browns, if the Watson comes out, we can have 4 losses from the
yeah,
AFC North.
yeah.
And
So
so, yeah. I mean, we did get lucky though because I do think, like I said, I want to play Atlanta week 2, like I discussed, because I think it's going to take a little bit of time for Atlanta to get moving. I think when you have that many new pieces, versus an Eagles core, like with Hurts and AJ Brown and Smith and Dallas Goddard. They've been around each other for a while, so it's not gonna take too long for them to get going. But with Kirk Cousins under center, there's so many new pieces, new coach, new offensive coordinator. It's gonna be a lot. Who knows if they have it all figured out by week 2? But I think we beat the Saints. And then, the Giants, Panthers, Washington, 2 games. Like those are easier games. Who knows? Jaguars. I think we all play Jaguars. I could be wrong at looking at our schedules. I think we all do though. I know the Packers do for sure.
Yeah.
But they might surprise us, man. We gotta realize they started off 8-1 last year and then spiraled out of control. But it's like if they can just get that back under center. Who knows what they can do? But yeah, that's me. This is my prediction. I have them going 13-4. Well, like I said, 12-5, 11-6. Those are definitely things that I can see as well. This is my honest prediction of it. I feel like I could have given them more wins in there, but I also feel like I could have given more losses in there too. So um, that's my prediction there. So we'll move right next to the next person I got up is old Fancy, the old gun show.
Yeah.
17-0 Packers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is obviously like we talked about week 1 in Brazil against the Eagles. Technically the away team. We are first game jitters, season opener. I mean, there's a lot of hype. That could go either way, and I definitely don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means.
Yeah.
But I've got us winning that one. Colts.
I will say I didn't know that was our home game. So do we lose a home game?
I don't know. I didn't
no,
go
no.
through and track
That
it.
says that that says that the Packers it's a home game
For the Packers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because yellow would be home on the screen right there. So
Yeah,
what is
so
it? 1,
that
2,
that
3,
might
4,
mean
5,
you
6,
miss
7,
a
8, 9. No, they gave them an extra one. It's 17 games now, so they have 8 home games, 8 away. So that's why they added that. That makes sense. Not to cut you
Okay,
guys
that's
off, but
cool.
they added 17. That way they can do these types of games. That way these teams
Like
don't get
the
screwed over with
the
an
Europe
8.
games and all
Yep.
that stuff. Yeah,
Because they play
that makes sense.
17, so if they do
Mhm.
one away from their actual place, they can still consider it one team's home, and it won't
Yeah.
matter. Cool. Sorry about that. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait a minute.
But I mean, not like I don't think that matters there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
no,
it
absolutely. I was
matters
just, I
later,
guess,
but
yeah. My mind just meant like, damn, that kind of sucks if that screwed us out of one more home game because like beating us in the link is hard to do, just like beating you guys in Lambeau is hard to do. I'm
yeah,
like, damn, like,
yeah. Yeah, and then Colts, the way you feel about the Falcons is the way I feel about the Colts. It's like, you got a lot to iron out and kind of still get back
yeah,
together. Getting your quarterback is just coming off an injury back in it. You know, basically the Kirk Cousins Falcon situation. So that shouldn't be too bad. Tennessee, you know, I mean, I just
it's like sometimes words doesn't even do it. It's just fancy, just like, yeah,
it's like
you know.
copy and paste what I said about the Colts. Minnesota, my only worry about Minnesota is Aaron Jones. You know, it's like, a good run's hard to
Yeah, I mean, he lit up the Cowboys. I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, so the only hope is like we know that. We know him. We taught him. So,
hopefully you can stop it. But you guys are weak
yeah.
at stopping the run.
Yeah. Like and I mean the way that, since I've been an adult, the way the Packers have won most games is by scoring a lot, not by defensively winning,
Yeah,
typically.
with the
And it's
Minnesota not having JJ, not having Hawkinson to start it out, it's
yeah,
like
it's like
Addison's
there's a
gonna be
chance.
suspended. It's gonna be literally
It's
Sam Darnold
early.
and Justin
Yeah.
Jefferson.
Yeah, like I'm not worried about Sam Darnold whatsoever.
No?
No, no,
Redhead doesn't
no,
do it for you?
no. I mean, no. You put Zach Wilson over there, I don't care. Same thing to me.
Fair enough.
Rams is not like I see Philly, within 3 or less. I see the next 3 games a touchdown or more, and now I'm getting back into the close games again, where I'm like the Rams, depending on how like Matt said, Matt Stafford looks, how he's playing, if he's still healthy, we're talking uh week 5. Like I mean, that's you're starting to get into the wear and
Starting
tear
to
of the,
feel it a
of,
little
of the
bit.
season. Yeah,
Those
yeah,
bruises ain't healing up like
yeah,
quick,
yeah. Especially at his age. So, and going against the youngest team in the NFL, it's like
Those
that's
boys are
a
gonna be moving.
you have to remember. Yeah, these guys are full of energy. Okay,
They're trying to
and
prove
then
something.
yeah, yeah, and then I think the Rams are holding on to some glory that they had. Like they're still on the coming off of it versus everybody else is trying to come back and get it again. Where the
Yeah.
Eagles are, where the Packers are, where the Cowboys have been for 2 decades. And then you got the Cardinals, which I'm very excited to see. I mean, I like Kyler Murray. He's an OU kid. Harrison Jr. We'll see what that kind of connection looks like. That one could be a lot closer. I mean, they upset the Cowboys last
Yeah,
year, I
especially like
think.
week 6, once we get closer, it's like with this team, if they're 5-1, it's like, or 4-1, I'm sorry, it's like, all right, this team's mean business. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. They could
they could
definitely be
also be
cooking.
1-4. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I
Well,
mean, there's a lot of those teams that were, you know, had a terrible record that wasn't representative of how they played.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So you guys both have them going 6-0. Obviously, we know one of the 2 teams is going to have a loss there, but that's
Yeah.
still a great start out of both the Eagles and then
Yeah, I
Green
hate how early
Bay.
our bye
How
week
you guys are
is.
slated?
I hate bye weeks that are like earlier than like 8 or
When was
9.
yours?
Yeah,
Oh,
ours is
yours is
5.
week 5. Yeah,
Because then
yeah,
you
definitely.
fucking play 12 weeks. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
that is brutal. Like that's why I'm always down on board for 18 games, 2 buys, because it's like, you can kind of split up a little bit. But when you play 4 games and get a buy, it's like your body's not even healing from nothing. You barely
E-
even. These guys are young.
especially with the international games, like adding a second bye for the teams that are going to be coming back. It's like let them get that jet lag out, and then you could probably reduce the people that are playing Monday night or Sunday night and Thursday night.
Yep.
You don't have
It's
to
probably a
have
better
those
way of
back
doing it.
to
They're
back.
probably getting to it though. They're making a lot of changes. So
It's a lot to just match up. It's a
yeah,
lot to match up. And then, going into week 7, we've got the Texans.
best team in
And
Texas.
they're definitely the best team in Texas. And that's one of those things like we'll see how they look at this point. If they come together, if there's no sophomore slump or whatever for CJ Stroud, then, we'll see. Was it Stephon Diggs is there too?
Yep.
I mean,
Joe
spreading
Mixon.
out the targets, a lot more threats can be good. I mean,
Can be good, can be bad.
If CJ Stroud stays, in the form like he was last year and the way he finished, I mean, definitely could be Jacksonville. I know you just mentioned that all 3 of us play them, and we'll see. They were hot until
They
week
weren't.
8, and
Yeah.
then week 8 came around, and that was the end of that. And and I like Trevor Lawrence. And that when he's healthy, they're arguably the best team in Florida.
Yeah,
And
wow.
really, I mean, you know what I mean? Think about that. Considering he doesn't have
Shout
near
out
the
Baker.
weapons that Tua has, I mean, Baker's, I didn't say best quarterback. I said best team.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying,
Do you forget about the Dolphins down there too?
No, Tua forgot about the Dolphins. No, all those CTEs. No, I'm saying
No,
saying
I know what he means. Yeah.
that Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville are as it's
When
like
they get rolling, that's why they went 8-1. It's like they're
right.
tough.
Yeah,
Their
but
defense is
then
tough.
we saw the upside, but we also saw
Yeah.
how bad it can get.
Which
the
we saw
back
with the
half of the season.
Dolphins.
And we saw with the Eagles. I mean, I'll be honest, we
Oh,
did.
yeah.
I mean, the Eagles fucking fell apart last year. It's like it does happen. So it's gonna be interesting to see. That's why I'm mostly interested because they are being counted out quite a bit. And it's like people forget like the year before that they made playoffs and they shouldn't have. Last year they started off with a bang. And it's like they've only
Yeah.
gotten better in the offseason. I mean, yeah, they lost Calvin Ridley, but they never even reused him. So it's like
Yeah.
they added a lot, and it's like Doug Peterson can get that team, whip back into shape of like that shit ain't gonna happen again. You know what I mean? They kind of learned from
Yeah.
it, but we'll see. I mean, they could also
Yeah.
just completely fall apart.
No, I mean, yeah, depending on health at this point, once again,
Yep.
like this is where you're starting to get into the grind. You don't have the playoff like motivation yet of like push through these last few games. You're just like right in the middle of it. I don't know where their bye week is, if they're
Yeah,
waiting
that's
for
why I
one or
love your
just
guys'
coming
bye
off
week so
one.
much. Your
Yeah,
guys' bye week
week
is
10's
nice.
great. And Detroit, I mean, that's a home one. That one matters a lot.
Those ones are always fun to watch. Man.
I want to
Yeah.
see after last year. I want to see how many fourth downs are gone. Like, I mean, I'm just
Oh, they
curious.
got
Like,
the
I really
kicker
am.
though. They got a
Yeah.
kicker now, Jake Bates.
He can kick it from anywhere.
But
Anywhere on
will
the
he?
field, he can kick.
Is he going to
I
be
mean,
out there to do it?
he will if Dan lets him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Right.
it's like
He's
we're
on the
going to be out there.
sideline practicing, just kicking. Like, yeah, good job, Jake.
Yeah.
Warming up,
He's
kicking
gonna-
70-yarders, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna go for it on fourth down.
But and then a week off. Thank goodness. I imagine we win that one. Which will go straight into Chicago, bulletproof vests and
You can
all.
come in, dude. You can come in and see it for my birthday. My birthday's the 19th.
Dude, if I had already been to Lambeau like I was supposed to a couple years ago, I would have no problem going to see the Packers at fucking at Soldier Field before they get rid of it. But yeah, I know
No, I'm just kidding. They're redoing it.
they're putting the new one right next to it.
Well, they're still using the base foundation.
Oh, I thought they were gonna just
it's
put it into like a parking lot.
The renovating thing. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be years.
Anyway,
away, like
yeah.
23rd.
And then you've got two. Why are there not the red marks around San Fran and the Dolphins?
Because we're done. We're done getting beat by.
Jordan Love's got his tongue out.
San Francisco. Yeah, this is not the. This is different. This is a different era. We're getting sharper.
There's gonna be big games there then.
I mean, I think the Niners are the oldest team in the NFL. I think so. Or they're top 3 on age, on average age.
You think so?
I think so.
They're that's old. Purdy's like 3 years in.
I mean, that's one guy. I was saying, I think on average, I think they're average. I think they're the average oldest at like 26 something.
Let's see. Keep going though.
Trivia question brought to you by Fancy.
But yeah, I think this is the year that the San Francisco starts to slide a little. I'm not saying a lot, and it's not one of those games. I think that the Packers are going to walk away with it, and it might be a fourth quarter, 2-minute drill that wins it. Because then Chiefs are next, right?
No, the Browns are 1.
Browns then
49ers
because the Falco.
yeah,
you got a 60-year-old quarterback on there. It's going to make everybody's age go up.
Yeah, Browns, 49ers, Dolphins, Jets, Panthers, which just doesn't seem right that the Panthers are 5.
Yeah.
But the Packers aren't the youngest team no more.
Who's the youngest team now?
Colts, then Raiders, then Packers, then Eagles at 28, which is nice.
Not bad.
But a good call on that. Yeah,
I was just saying, like, there's
it's like crazy though. Like you're talking about like average though. Like I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying like the average. Like you're talking about 25 days or 25 years old, 25 years old, 6 months, and then 27 in 7 months. It's like you're talking about like 2 years. It's like The average is actually a lot younger than I thought. Like, I was thinking like 28, 29, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Lots of rookies and shit coming out.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's not very many old linemen and stuff that make up a lot of the
That's why it just
team.
the Panthers being 5, it's like they're in complete rebuild. How are you one of the oldest teams? And the Raiders they're the second youngest team. It's like that's a good rebuild then, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Minshew could definitely. I see a lot of
So yeah,
people
Fancy's
already.
not wrong, dude. 49ers and Dolphins, those are
Wow, yeah.
2 and 3 on the oldest list.
They're seniors, and
Miami seniors.
yeah. But they got that's what I think. Once again, I think it's a close one. I think we maybe have to come back and dig through a fourth quarter, possibly overtime against the Niners. And the Dolphins just struggled last year against any team with a winning record. And if
Yeah.
I'm half right about my, so far, it's
Yeah, if
like
you're fucking 6 and 5 or into that week, it's like, well,
it's like
you lost.
just
Yeah.
typically we win. Miami doesn't win those, and then in Detroit, I think he doesn't let it happen again. Kicks the field goal. I mean, that was the difference last year. I think it'll be the difference again, and a lot more that we know the Lions could have done a whole lot better and went in with the NFC #1 seed. So I think that by then he's like, "Fuck it, we got to."
I feel like the Packers-Bears divisional rivalry has always been like the center face of, like, how divisions have the big ones, and it's like for the NFC East, it's always Eagles-Cowboys. Like whenever those teams play the Giants or the Commanders, there's not much like, like when it's Eagles-Cowboys week, it's fucking blood. And just like Packers-Bears, it's blood. I think the Packers-Lions is gonna end up starting to be that, like, it's fucking go week. You know what I mean? Like
So
I don't think there's like when you guys had Ndamukong Suh, where it's like the guy stomping.
yeah,
I don't think it's like that type of shit. I think it's gonna be where, like, the talent is so there, and then you guys are so
yeah.
young. Unless the Bears have a better year than we think, which probably they won't, but who knows? But it's like I think you guys are gonna be the new like NFC North rival within the last like 2
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we can keep it competitive now, Aaron Rodgers kind of
Oh,
ruined
man.
that for the rivalry, just him just dominating, it kind of hurts the rivalry when it's
I'm
so
so sorry.
lopsided.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry. I'm so sorry. He's
Darn
not.
it.
He's, he's
Well,
not.
what's a fun fact is
He
the
just tapped
Packers
his he just
Bears.
tapped his Aaron Rodgers bobblehead as he fucking
Yeah, yeah. Is the Packers Bears is the oldest rivalry in the NFL, but the Packers Lions is the longest because of the player strike. The strike happened after the Packers Lions game, so that streak kept going, and the Packers Bears that one broke that streak. So there's a fun fact.
There you go.
The
Fun
oldest
fact.
and the longest are between those two that you're talking about,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I mean, like that's one of those ones I think we split, and I mean, that's okay
Yeah,
because
that's why I always
I
look at it.
think
It's
the
like,
Lions are
yeah.
absolutely amazing. They're a
I'll
great
clip that.
organization. They are, and Seahawks, I think they're going to be fighting. They're going to be fighting internally. They might be fighting some injuries at this point. I mean, we're talking December. We're a month away from playoffs. It's cold. You know, Geno Smith, better than most, but not great.
Yeah.
New Orleans, Derek Carr. Wow, like you're lucky you still have a job. Minnesota, once again.
Hold on, their coach is probably fired by then.
Think so?
Yeah, they're already next in line for Hard Knocks HBO. Like they're already slated for next
They
year.
started early.
Yeah,
The first season ever, they started at week 16.
yeah. They're like, let's go through the firing process and the draft process this time. So we just watch everybody clean out their lockers. Yeah,
I couldn't think of his name. Dennis Allen. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name for a sec there, but I think he probably loses his job by week 16 anyways. So
Fancy
yeah.
might see Spencer Rattler's week 16 then.
Dude, shout out though, Taysom Hill still being a Saint, still fucking playing
34
that
years
like
old, man. Playing quarterback, tight end, running back, wide receiver.
Yeah, just a great multi-purpose special teams.
Yeah.
I just want to see him kick. If he kicks this year, then he can retire.
I'm happy to see
Hall of
him
Fame?
just do. Yeah, I mean, maybe just for all the positions.
He should go ring hunting at the end of his career. Just like throw him in there, imagine on the Chiefs. Imagine what they could do with him on the Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
Think about
Yeah.
that. Like some
If you
crazy ass Mahomes, Taysom Hill, Kelsey,
Yeah.
crazy ass play. Like
all three of those have thrown touchdowns in a game, and all three of them have caught touchdowns in a game. So it's like you could, if you had all three of them out there, it's like
Mahomes caught one?
I'm like 99% sure.
Wouldn't surprise me with all the fucking crazy
I
shit they
think
do.
I think Tyreek Hill threw him one.
Probably.
I think. I
I'll
could
look it
be
up.
I could be
We're
getting
getting like so off page because Fancy
Yeah.
brings up so many good points.
I know.
yeah.
It's like we just keep going on and on. Like
So and then Minnesota once again. I mean, I think at this point they're, everything we said at the beginning about them is
Got 0.
true. And
So
you know.
so you have this. This is a great season you put together, but you have it ending on a
they're
low
gonna bench
point.
their starters. Fancy's gonna be at the game.
Yeah, that what
Yeah.
that could be true. According to this, you've got the division locked up.
Yeah, because
right?
they'll be fucking 14-2 going into week 18. They're not gonna need to.
We've got the conference locked up. What are you talking about?
Yeah, 14-2 is gonna have the conference locked up.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead.
That's
sit
fine.
some
I'm
people.
okay with that because then the NFC Championship is gonna come around and then they're gonna lose the 49ers in Green Bay again, and Fancy's gonna go into hibernation.
Hey, as long as we pick up Dallas, who's gonna get on a wild card, then we have to play them in Lambeau and just
crush
beat
their
them again.
Go to
you know,
work.
for a 14th year in a row.
Patrick Mahomes though has not had a receiving touchdown in his career.
No, okay.
You know what though? That was a pretty damn good guess because in that crazy offense, it would not surprise me.
But I'm pretty sure Travis Kelce has a throwing touchdown.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, I
Well,
think
what's the
thrown
one
some
play? What's the one play that got called back? That was a
Probably
lateral, wasn't it? That wasn't.
Oh. Yeah.
So that wouldn't count.
So anyway, yeah, we're finishing on a loss. Bears are
14-3
still
though.
fighting to get in, and that's why they're gonna play everybody they have. They're gonna barely win.
Caleb Williams gonna be
against
benched at that point.
yeah, they're gonna he's already moving on to like a Vogue, photo shoot or something.
Fields comes back to Chicago at the end of the season.
Back for
Imagine.
Dude, I wouldn't even want to be near the Bears fans if that happened, dude. They burned their jerseys and everything already. It's like,
dude, that's all you're gonna see. It's gonna look like Somalia and freaking Black Hawk Down with all the smoke coming in the streets of just Bears memorabilia on fire.
Goodness gracious.
My flight's gonna get canceled back because there's gonna be freaking rioters on the
crash at
tarmac.
my house. Yeah, he's gonna, hey man, can you pick me up?
Yeah.
Dude. All right, now we got the last place Lions.
Yeah, I feel embarrassed here because I've got all these losses on here, even though I think we're gonna have a great season.
I will say, out of the three, though, like you guys both have losing to Houston in Houston, so it's respectable. We all have ourselves beating Jacksonville. You guys split 50-50 Green Bay. You split 50-50 Bears. And you took the 49ers loss. He didn't. But, like,
true.
I mean, I don't think you guys lose to Bills at home, in my opinion. But, like,
Got it.
Dallas at Dallas, I can see it again. But like other than that, it's like I feel like you're pretty realistic with it. Like it's
I mean,
you win those games. I don't think Houston beats both of you guys at home. That's
probably fair. Yeah.
So but it's also fair to say that you guys did. But yeah, break it down.
So just like you guys. So my schedule here go down the column, right? So go down that left column. So I think that home opener, that place is going to be. You were there on a home opener.
Yep.
Against the Eagles.
No,
yeah.
One of them, sorry.
And I mean that place can get electric, especially after a season like last season.
Yep.
So I think that's going to be a tough place to play in for that first game, especially. I'm hoping that's going to be a great game, but I think we win it.
They're going to want it bad too after
the playoffs. Yeah, for sure.
After you guys knocked them out.
So these first 4 games we kind of walk through is, I think that first one, I think we're going to be very competitive and run through those next 3 games: Tampa Bay, Cardinals, and Seahawks. Old philosophy that when we started to kind of turn around the seasons with Jim Caldwell as coach, he kind of instilled this mantra of break up the season into these. This is when 16 games. Break up the season into slates of 4. So if you attack each group of 4 games, you just have to win that series. So you look at the first 4 series, try to win more than you lose there, right? Try to go 3-1. Can you do that? So obviously great start, 4-0 there. Again, we've got that bad bye week like you do.
I didn't realize you both got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's a tough one, man. I don't like it at all.
Great start, and then going into that bye week. I really did waver on the then, are we going to go So that'd be 4, 5, 6, 7-0, right? So when I was wavering on that Cowboys, because I mean, I think we can match up against the Cowboys. Maybe the only tip of that is it's in Dallas.
Because you're
I
coming
think
off a
that's
bye,
yep.
sluggish.
I think that's kind of that maybe tipping point. I definitely think we can beat them. As long as we don't, forget to do eligible receiver,
Kick field goals.
when we try to score that touchdown. Other than that, I have it as a loss just because I didn't want to get into that mantra of 7-0 on the season. I think it would be great. It could be realistic, but that may be the loss we get in that first half of the season.
Yeah.
The Vikings game, to be honest, before the JJ McCarthy injury, I was potentially looking at a split for Minnesota as well. But now just with their great quarterback of Sam Darnold, I think I'm tipping it back in Detroit's favor there. I echo everything you didn't have to say for the Titans, Fancy.
Yeah.
I'm looking past that game. Hopefully that doesn't bite us.
I will say, not being a Tennessee Titans advocate or anything, but I will say I think people are sleeping on their offense a little bit. They do have Tony Pollard. They have Tyjae Spears, who is very, very young and promising as a running back. And then their wide receivers are D Hop, Calvin Ridley, Traylon Burks, and Tyler Boyd. They have, and then Okonkwo or whatever tight end, he's a really,
True,
really
yeah.
fast young tight end. It's if that new coach comes in, I think is it Brian Callahan maybe? If he comes in, it's I mean, I just don't see them rolling over and just giving up, because I do
Very
think the
true.
AFC South is wide open. Not saying that you guys will lose to them. I'm just saying I saw both of you guys kind of sleep on them, and I think a lot of people would definitely are just slipping by them, just yeah, whatever, Titans, And it's they don't want to suck forever, and they still do believe in Will Levis, and they did everything in their power. Maybe not as flashy as the Bears, but they did grab a lot of targets for him to throw to. So it's
yeah, and
we'll
he's
see.
got that. He's got that for better or for worse. He has that confidence. He's got that
ego, yeah.
that ego to him, to where if he is rolling,
Who's
he's
gonna
got the
stop it?
weapon.
Yeah.
He does have some weapons, right? So,
Yep.
and then we move on. I've got this two game slide of at Lambeau. That's gonna be that's a division winner right there. If we can win that game, that changes everything, right? But I think Green Bay at home will win it. I know you talked about the Texans. They have so many offensive weapons that by mid-season right there, I think they're going to find a way to get everybody the ball. I think that's going to be a really tough game down in Houston. I've got us winning against Jacksonville, Colts, Bears, and then just like you predicted it, at home against Green Bay, I've got us winning there as well. So what are we there? 3 losses towards this back half of the end of the season.
Yeah, so 10-3 going into this losing streak.
Yeah, and then I'd love to decide with you. I don't. That Bills loss is huge if we do lose there, because then we're losing 3 in a row, at Chicago and then at San Francisco. So
Yeah, I mean, and the 49ers and Bills one is fair, but just like Fancy's thing though, Fancy's loss could be because they sit their team out if it plays out the way he does. But the Bears at week 16 might just suck. We'll know.
Yeah,
We'll know.
that's true.
The Bears have a lot to prove. They're not just a proven team. Their roster looks great, but they could just absolutely suck.
Yeah.
And so it's that could just be a quick loss, bounce back to the Bears, which would really help. And then it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? But
no, I agree. And so, yeah, we're really going to have to see.
I love that you guys both gave the Bears credit, though. You guys both gave Bears a win, which is it's interesting. I did want to see.
Yeah, there's so much there's so much upside. I'm still not 100% sold on Caleb Williams, but I see so much upside with him if he does perform with all of those wide receivers, right? We've got DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze, Cole Kmet,
DeAndre Swift.
well, yeah, true. So if he finds a way and he actually kind of finally as that rookie quarterback kind of figures things out, that's the back half of the season is when you really see that stuff. I would like to compare it to Jordan Love's, last 8 games
Yeah,
last season,
that's
right?
when he really tore it up. Yeah.
So we could see that if Caleb Williams doesn't just completely shut down because he's lost his first 7 games as a starter. If he kind of wins some of those games, that back half of the season he might actually be clicking. And then we've got I think we all have San Francisco winning. I thought we did winning that division.
Yeah, we did all pick. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so I mean, I expect them to be a great team again as well.
And that game could come down to the NFC conference.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that'd be a big game to have at home too. No, you're at 49ers there. Damn.
Yep. So I've got us 11-6. I still have us winning NFC North. But I think it's gonna be a good year.
Yeah. So 14-3 for Fancy, 13-4 for me, and an 11-6 for you. I feel like you gave more losses towards, which is like a fair take on it. Because like if you look back at the season, it's gonna be interesting because I do want to like keep these and kind of like I don't know. I think it'd be cool to like see because it's like there's a good chance. I mean, mark it down. It's August 21st. It's like if we look back at this and Matt just went perfect over this, it'd be kind of crazy. Or same thing with fans for me, whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be like, damn, that's.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm when we come to pick'ems, right? When we go week by week.
Oh, you're going to pick them every time. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna be switching.
You're gonna be like, we're rolling. You know what I mean? Like,
that'd be a lot easier to make that a choice too.
Week 6, no, for sure, exactly. Fancy.
Yeah, fuck it. CJ Stroud's hurt. It's like, we're not picking him anymore.
CJ Stroud lost his leg last week.
Yeah,
so there goes that. But no, like week 6, Fancy, me and you were getting the spiel week 6. Matt's gonna be like, we're 4-0. By week 5, our guys are rested. We're gonna come out hot. We're ready to go. The Cowboys
100%.
are tired. Like we're getting the whole speech, dude. I'm telling you, and I love it. That's like I'm on board with it. It's just funny, like you said though. It's like week to week. Every single one of us are like, nope, they're winning. Nope, they're winning. Nope, they're winning.
I mean, I think the Lions are there's 2 teams the Cowboys are going to face in the first 6 weeks. It's the Ravens and the Lions. I think. Like otherwise, Browns, Saints, Giants, and Steelers. I'm like,
they can still drop that Browns Steelers game though too. They lost to the Cardinals last year. Like.
I know they
Especially
definitely
Steelers play a slow game and make Dak do something. It's like, like so. But
hey, Jake. So I'm gonna be rooting for your schedule though too.
I told Fancy all about that.
As you know, we had our draft already. And
how many times have you won that league, by the way?
This is the first year. I don't know.
Oh, you weren't into the. Oh.
So I am now officially an Eagles fan. I have the stack of Hurts and AJ Brown. So we're gonna see 1 million touchdowns out of those guys.
Who would have thought
this season?
We got Fancy saying that he loves and respects the Lions as an organization, as a team.
I think he talked about us being the best team.
Yeah.
In the NFL, something like I'm paraphrasing, but something.
Yeah,
it's a lawyer's
paraphrasing a little bit.
you about choked on his fucking spit there. He's just like,
yeah.
Oh man, no. So that's it. I mean, we'll definitely look back at it. Watch me and Fancy can't go perfect because one of us is wrong in week 1. So, one of our shit will be torched that right off the rip, which is okay. But we'll definitely watch us all just be wrong after week 3.
Dude, to be honest, getting that first loss, just if you can get it out the way, it's like, okay, it can only go up from here. You know what I mean?
I just don't want to do it week 1 though, because week 1 I'm like, fuck. You want to see a win that you're like, okay, we're here.
But then but it's like once you get the first win, it's like you don't want to see that. You don't want to see it.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's like how long can we keep it up? Yeah.
And I've talked to you about that. Like when the Eagles were just rolling, right?
You want to take a loss before you get there because
past 2 years, you guys were just rolling. So I'm telling you, you need some of those losses in there to keep you. Yep, keep you humble.
That was a Super Bowl year, man. We were 13-3, 14-2, or whatever it was, and fucking we kept rolling through every team. I was like, man, we need a loss that way we can be like, all right, you need to fix this,
Yeah.
But the next thing we got is gonna be a fun little combo. We wrote down it's kind of like a quarterback segment in a way of quarterbacks in new areas, meaning new teams, whatever. or rookie quarterbacks that are also, obviously playing for the first time. Um, and so I'll just go down the list that I made, and we'll start with Kirk Cousins. How we think Kirk Cousins is going to do? Will he have success? Guys, I've been an advocate for Kirk Cousins. I think the Falcons win the NFC South, and I think Bijan and Drake London and Kyle Pitts all have great years, and I think he just elevates that team. Not to like anything crazy. I still think it's a week one loss in playoffs, but you
Good.
know, I do think he can elevate the Falcons from what they just have been since Matt Ryan left.
I agree. And I mean, if you think about it, and if he doesn't even perform, we also have Penix Jr. stepping in there, so we have a new quarterback either way,
kind
right?
of kind of an Alex Smith, Pat Mahomes situation.
No, but I mean, but for him going to the wrong Michigan school, he's a Michigan State graduate. He looks like he can still do it. Now we'll see coming off an injury, right? You never fully know, but the way it's progressing and the way he slings the ball, I think it's an exciting offense, and basically complete change for the Falcons, right? So they're gonna have that opportunity to put some offensive plays together, actually hopefully utilize
Both guys,
Bijan. Well,
Bijan
yeah,
and Kyle Pitts. Yeah,
yeah. And then we've said that before. I think I was telling you that while we were in our draft, right? Is we continue to say Kyle Pitts has so much potential. He's gonna be able to do it, and we haven't seen it yet.
yeah,
So the way they're already kind of talking, the way they have the camaraderie already, that's going to be exciting if he can actually bring the best out of, he's going to be wearing his number, right? He's going to be throwing to his jersey number that they never ended up switching. So
yep.
I think that's going to be a cool connection if he can bring the best out of that tight end position.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's Kirk Cousins hasn't blown anybody away in the postseason really. So
Maybe this year.
I mean, he's got the best conference to do it in, or the best division. I mean, to do it in.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, the Bucks did it with a single digit win season, so
Yeah.
they could do it too with a single digit win season.
Yeah, exactly.
Even less, they could have ties. So it's
Yeah. And like I know we're talking about Kirk, but Atlanta just made a really big moves. They traded for Matthew Judon from the Patriots, which is a big defensive
Yeah.
trade for them for, gaining a great linebacker who's like still in his prime. And then we talked about the secondary a few episodes ago and how many big secondary guys are still out there, and they actually just signed Justin Simmons, which is still a top 5 safety in my opinion. So it's like they did make some moves, and I mean they're going all in on the season. And if Kirk can stay healthy, it's one of those situations just like Aaron Rodgers. I want him to stay healthy, and I want to see how it plays out. I just want to see sports play out the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not week
I don't want to see
4.
people lose with
Yeah, week 4
injuries.
he tears his Achilles again and he retires. It's like I don't want that. Before we went on the next one too, it was funny because when you guys were breaking that down, the one thing one of my buddies literally told me was the Atlanta Falcons are literally trying to rebuild their Super Bowl team, and they're replacing the older Matt Ryan version with the closest thing to Matt Ryan at that age, and it was literally Kirk Cousins. And it's like when you think about it, it's like Matt Ryan was really, really good, especially like he didn't get it done on the ground. He was a good leader and like kind of underrated, like they call him Matty Ice, but it's like he was kind of underrated in terms of like people weren't picking him top 10 fantasy drafts, you know what I mean? And it's like it's kind of the same thing Kirk Cousins. They found a guy that's not, granted they had Matt Ryan the whole career, but they found a guy that literally is a great leader, is a great passer, understands the game, and it's like kind of towards the end of his career where they're just kind of hoping like, hey, get us one and get your only one. You know what I mean? It's like I
Yeah.
didn't think about it
Yep.
that way. I'm just like, damn, it kind of is true. Like they're kind of stacking up. Like Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman was the running backs. Now they have Bijan and Tyler Legier. It's like it makes sense. It's like they're trying their best to get something before it's gone, and they even have the backup of Michael Penix there, so it'll be interesting to see.
I mean, that's kind of like the MO period. It's like they're either going with all new young quarterbacks or they're grabbing one with lots of experience and trying to wring out that last little
yeah,
bit.
just like the Jets. Yeah, the Jets are going
Jets,
to go into a full
Buccaneers with
tilt this
Tom
year.
Brady.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I mean, it's
yeah.
happening.
And it pulled them
Steelers
out.
with Russell
It
Wilson,
pulled Tampa out.
Denver with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, it pulled Tampa out of it because then Tampa was a contender, and then Baker went there. So
Yeah.
it did pull them out of it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The next person on the list is we'll start going through some rookies here. Is Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders quarterback. I think, man, I think 5 years ago, some of the decisions that they decided to sign would have been great. Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler, Bobby Wagner. It's like
Yeah.
those are studs, Pro Bowlers 5 years ago. Now it's like, well, we'll see. But I do think the bar is going to be set pretty low for him. I know Sam Howell had a good year, but I think he's going to be flashier. I think what we saw with Sam Howell last year was you can throw for a lot of passing yards, you can win us a couple games, but he didn't do anything flashy in terms of plays or like crazy, like the Caleb Williams play that just happened in preseason. Everyone kept talking about it. It's like he
Mhm.
doesn't have any of that. Sam Howell didn't.
Yeah.
I think Jaden Daniels has that. Not saying that that actually matters when it comes down to things, but the way social media
Yeah.
works, with the way people would judge how people play, it's like if you're not making the Mahomes-esque plays, there's no reason to
Yeah.
watch you. And I think they got their guy of like if Jaden Daniels can stay healthy, if he can get them, I'm gonna say 7-10. I think that's a win of a season.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we're looking at him, in college, how consistent was he? How great was he? Obviously to win a Heisman anyways, but
Yeah.
he showed his abilities, right? So now we have to just see, can he transfer that over to the NFL game? So, when you try to use that mobility as a rookie, you're going to take a couple of those big hits.
You're gonna get the welcome to the league hit.
Yeah, and that's really the turning point. I think, we can see the potential out of him as long as he kind of is smart with that. He's got the arm strength, he's got the quickness, but he's in Washington. That's the downside of his position. Kind of like what we'll see with at least two other quarterbacks we'll talk about of, how well are they going to perform with their new team? But at the same time, the team that they're playing on does not have a ceiling very high as it is. So kind of like what you're saying, what success are we looking for? Success, like as in carry them to playoffs, like we think Kirk might be able to do, or get your team just on the right side of the turning point of trying to turn your franchise around.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. That's definitely we'll teeter on, are we going for another quarterback, or now do we start bolstering our weapons
Yeah.
and protection for them? And
Yep.
I mean, that's, I think Sam Howell, the flashy thing makes sense, and it's just like, it's a shame because why aren't those numbers matter? Those, like, his numbers, it's like that's,
impressive, right? Yeah.
I mean, you want that. Like, that's like
Yeah,
you can't
it's
complain
very
about.
confusing. Very
Yeah,
confusing.
you
It's
can't complain
the
about that
Bears.
at
The
all.
Bears and Washington were in both of those situations where they had options to take a quarterback that people thought Jaden Daniels was number one. Honestly, they did.
Yeah.
We talked about it. They did think
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels was number one, and Caleb just had more hype around him. And so it
Yeah.
was one of those where Washington couldn't sleep on taking someone when they weren't winning. But if they gave Sam Howell another year to develop and started getting some talent around him, like not saying that Eckler and all them are in their prime anymore, but it's like you get a guy that you're starting to build around a little bit more, you know, just like
Yeah.
we said with the Bears.
You have to have
If the Bears
consistency.
gave Justin Fields, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, all
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift, it's like it would have been a whole different Bears team. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it really it comes down to the organization and whether they like the person or not, and that's just
Yeah,
what it was. So
Well, and can you imagine Sam Howell with Marvin Harrison?
yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? That's they could have just done that, but
That's the whole thing is
these
what.
orgs don't want to build around guys anymore. They don't want to spend. They don't want to waste years. They want you to play now. If you don't play now, we're gonna find someone else that plays now. And it's like they put themselves in years and years and years of that shit. Where what we've seen happen is Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith, Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. Like we've seen it
Yeah.
work better that way.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
just even
Sit behind
Jalen
and
Hurts.
learn.
Jalen Hurts was a backup he was behind Carson Wentz for a year.
Yeah.
And came in. Now he's ready to go. It's like
Yeah.
these teams, they're in such desperation that it's like now, and it's like, well, it's gonna keep delaying you if you just don't wait. It's like,
That's everything that Tom Brady literally just talked about too. Is like
yep.
don't make them start right away. Like they're not ready. And
There's
then
nothing that can compare him for. College is nothing like the NFL.
plus, I mean, we saw it with the Browns. We watched them play quarterback roulette for years. The
And years.
Redskins are doing it again too. I mean, they're what 8 seasons in a row.
Yeah, I
of a
mean, same with the
new
Lions. The Lions were doing it for a long time. Like before Stafford, they were going through the cycle, man. I remember watching you guys
Yeah.
fucking have 8 different quarterbacks in like 8 years. It was just like boom, boom,
Yep.
boom, boom. It's like, all
It's
right.
happening, and it's just
Yep.
like once you get, and I mean, are they looking for the one? Are they willing to sacrifice a decade of misery to land on the Matt Stafford? It's like,
Or Mahomes. Yeah, exactly. So,
you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude,
yep. And then next,
or go ahead. Sorry.
oh no, you're good. And then the next is Caleb Williams, who we've all agreed like has the, I mean, number 1 overall pick, probably the best on paper offense you can imagine in terms of weapons. Like, there's no reason for him not to succeed. It's literally all just comes down to him. Like, it's going to come down to him and what he does with it. I mean, I just saw an interview the other day. He said he doesn't get nervous. It's like, well, we'll find out.
Lie.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't believe.
that was an interesting. I saw that
Yeah,
clip
it was
too.
almost like one of those where he's trying to get like a really cool clip of like, I don't get nervous, and it's like, well, I think
There's gonna
like
be so many compilations of him
well,
quoting that and then
yeah,
getting
that's
slammed.
exactly what I was like. You're gonna be shitting the bed with like fourth quarter, 2 minutes, gotta have a good drive, and you like throw it right at the defender. It's like I don't get nervous. It's like, well, what was that? Like it's like.
But he says that, right? So that I mean, I see the
mean,
flip side of it.
There's no way that you don't get nervous.
Well,
Everyone gets
because
nervous.
this is how I want to break it down, right? He says so. Basically, that's like kind of like being emotionless, right? Like so it doesn't get to
Yeah.
him. But
Yeah.
yet we've seen him cry in the stands after a loss. So to
Yeah.
me, those would go hand in hand. So I don't believe.
He's got emotion. He has passion. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a competitor.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So logically
It's like
speaking,
having no emotion is not good to be, because then you don't give a fuck about, oh, I threw a pick, cool. Like you just don't care. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. It came off really weird. So it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be. The Bears know it. The Bears fans do know it. I've been talking with them. It's like, dude, this guy's gonna be our guy, or it's gonna be a fucking misery show for like 5 years. And I'm just like, good luck.
Yep,
I'm like,
dumpster fire
yeah, it's
or
gonna be dumpster fire of like, what the fuck did we do? And then it's like, that's why I'm fingers crossed. We'll talk about it. It's like, that's why I hope Justin Fields works out in Pittsburgh so fucking bad. It's just like, I just want to watch them, like, see him play every fucking week and like dominate. And I'm just like, like,
But
you
so
guys are
I mean,
stuck with Colored Nail Boy and fucking
but
Purse Boy and
Ryan Poles has done like the
he's done
moves you
did everything you
just
could do.
talked about.
Everything you could do.
He's put everything together to then somehow get that number 1 pick. You draft your supposedly franchise quarterback, and now he's actually in a position, kind of the opposite of what Jaden Daniels is. He's in a position where he is set up for success. He just now has to perform.
Yeah.
So
I've had conversations. If they go 10-7 and don't make playoffs, I still think that's a great season for them. I don't think realistically, with what they've been going through for the last 6 years, I don't think 10-7 going. You guys, 1-2 seed obviously. It's like, and you guys are 13-4 and 11-6 or 12-5, whatever the case may be. It's like you just got to tip your cap and be like, hey man, we're young. That was a great season for us, and like it's a tough division. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you just gotta kind of call it at that point. It's like, could there be 3 teams out of your division? Absolutely, but one of you guys then have to be. I mean, you guys would have to beat the Cowboys or Eagles out of that other wild card spot. So it's like, But I honestly, I do think a 10-7 season is like very successful for them, and I still don't see them going 10-7. I can see them going 9-8. Like, and so
I haven't looked at the rest of their schedule and how hard it is and who else they got to play.
It's tough. I will say, when I did look through, because I was looking through it with my brother, I can see them starting off very, very good. The first like 8 weeks, I think I counted or something like that, is like mint. Like it's like layups. It's like Tennessee week 1, and then it's like someone else. But then it's like towards the back half of the season, it's like I told my brother, I was like, you guys can lose like 6-7 games in a row. If it gets bad, like if it gets locker rooms a mess and whatever else, and it gets wild like that, it's like I'd have to have it in front of my face. But it's like
Titans, Texans, Colts, Rams, Panthers, Jags, Commanders.
Right there, they can win. I said right there is 3-2. If they don't beat out any good team like Texans, Rams, they lose to them. It's 3-2, which is not bad.
Commanders, Cards.
They should be able to beat both.
Pats
should be able to beat them. That's right there. That's 6-2. That's what I had is 6-2 going through 8.
And then we start divisional. So Packers, Vikings, Lions.
So and then they have a bye or something like that, and then it gets super hard.
And then Niners. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So they can start off 6-2, and that's why I tried to my buddy and my brother was, yes, you guys might have that confusing schedule of like, dude, we're 6-2, like the Bears are back, and it's like, okay, well, strap them up because now you have Packers, Lions,
Yeah.
Vikings, and
Just
well, this was before
dive
they got hurt,
bomb.
and then 49ers. It's like, dude, you might lose. I told him, you might lose 6 or 7 out of your last 9.
Right.
Like you might be the Jaguars of last season. Like you guys might start off like 7-1, 6-2, and then all of a sudden just plummet. Like
True.
and like that to me is one of the worst things that can happen to a rookie because it's like, why did I have so much success in the beginning, and then now I'm getting shit on at the end?
Yeah, he's not learning from anything
Right.
by rolling through that first half. He's not learning
Yep.
like he's supposed to, and then
Yeah, then you get cocky, and then it's like, why are we losing? It's not my fault. And it's like, well, welcome to the league because that's what you're gonna be facing the rest of your career if you don't
Yeah.
get used to it. Like,
Yeah.
so that's how I brought it up. But then, same thing, NFC North. Um, Poor JJ, not really much to talk about. Um, really,
I was
really unfortunate. At first,
I
they
was
said it was only
looking
gonna be a
forward to
couple
that.
weeks. They said it was only gonna be a couple weeks, and then it ended up being like a complete tear.
Yeah.
Which really sucks. And I definitely feel for him. I really wanted to see him play out. I wanted to see him play out just as much as I want to see Rodgers play out last year. Like I really did just want to see him play, and if he failed, then we could have accepted it and moved on. Like, but I really did think the hype that I didn't understand in college because you guys ran the football so much, and then Harbaugh like vouching for him. I started finally seeing the throws in camp, and I started seeing like I'm like even Justin Jefferson was like, this kid is special. Like, and it's like for someone he doesn't say that he's had like 18 quarterbacks, and he doesn't say that
Yeah.
about anyone. Like he's always said I like Cousins, he's good. I like the way he throws balls, but he was like JJ McCarthy is special. Like he's got something different to him. He understands what a receiver wants, and it's like I just want to see it play out. Like I was all
Yep.
on
But
board with it.
It's
this,
disappointing.
this could be a silver lining though, because like we just mentioned earlier about throwing these kids straight
Yeah,
into the
no, I did
league,
think about that.
and
Yep.
it's like, granted,
This could be great.
hit with him being hurt, he's not going to get any like fourth
Reps.
quarter time, anything like that. But it's like also he's not going to have a bad season to just sour someone's
He's gonna be able to
taste.
watch Sam Darnold throw 27 picks, so he's like, "All right,
Yeah,
well, I'm just
he's
not
gonna
gonna do that."
and he's gonna hear, and he's still gonna be in the quarterback room listening to them just tear him apart like you fucking idiot, you redheaded stepchild. Get like just throwing like taking their gum out and tossing it at him. You
Ruler
know,
on the knuckles.
yeah, like it's gonna be. He's gonna be like, okay, so
This
don't do
is
that.
so don't do that. Yeah, exactly. No,
Football
yeah,
is still
I
throwing it.
did think about that side of it too, and I was like, well, everything kind of works out the way it's supposed to in the end, in just in life in general. So I'm just like, maybe this is meant to be where JJ was getting rushed into something. Granted, he's going into play with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones, which is a great fucking,
Yeah,
team to be around.
yeah,
But who knows? Maybe him sitting back a year. Maybe Sam Darnold surprises us and it gives JJ McCarthy something to work for again, and we see it next year.
Yeah.
The next two that we have actually just both get announced as a starter. Bo Nix was either yesterday or today. Bo Nix wins the job over Zach Wilson and Jared Stidham. Um, so everyone thought Zach Wilson was going to do it. Bo Nix kind of, you know, he was Sean Payton's guy going into the draft, and everyone knew Sean Payton wanted him. So we'll see what happens. I saw this is the first time the Broncos will have a rookie quarterback starting since 1983. Can you tell me who that
wow.
quarterback was?
In '83 was it
Legendary
Elway?
quarterback.
Yeah, got to be
Broncos.
Elway.
Well, I thought you said cowboy. I was like,
No,
yeah,
no,
it was
Elway.
Elway.
Yeah,
Yep, 1983, John Elway. So it's
yeah,
the first time they're starting a rookie quarterback since John Elway. So they're hoping for good things. He does look great. Cortland Sutton said he's great. Now, I think he's in a better situation than Jane Daniels is, in terms of like offense and defense. Like just in a tougher division. Like you still have to go out and beat Herbert and Mahomes to get anywhere. So once
and
again,
Minshew
one of
at
those.
this point.
What's that?
I said, I mean, don't forget about the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
all those teams have
Right. Yeah.
possibly come
Yeah.
up. So
Yeah. Exactly. And so that's like the same thing with the Bears, though. It's like I don't even. Same thing with. I try to like throw these out there like 10-7 for Caleb Williams just because of his weapons. 7-10 for Jaden Daniels. I think like another 7-10 for Bo Nix is fair. Like I think if he takes the Broncos to 7, maybe 8 wins,
how
I
many of
think
those 8 are divisional? Because that's where I'm going to really gauge his success.
3
Okay. Any of them on the road?
Chargers.
One in LA?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, that's where I would really gauge the rookies is like how do they do in in the division.
Especially in a stacked division, right? It's like, how does
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels do against the Cowboys and the Eagles? You know, it's like, even
Yeah.
if they lose, what was his stat line? Do you look like shit? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. Did the
so
team
yeah,
let him down, or did he let the team down?
yeah. So I think Bo Nix is. I think if I had to rank them like Caleb, Jaden, Bo, I would like in terms of situations that they're in. I would say Caleb, Bo Nix, and then Jaden Daniels. Not in talent wise, but just like what's there around them. I think Bo Nix
Situationally, yeah.
he's set up better than Jaden Daniels right now. Not saying that they're gonna have a better season than the Commanders. We'll see. But and then the other one that was start. I just saw like a highlight video of him with a shirt off. Did anyone else see that compilation of Gardner Minshew? Where it's like they like I think the Raiders announced. Did you see it, Fancy? Where he's like going around, he's got
No.
a shirt off, hairy chest and shit, fucking mustache and hair blown in the wind. And it's
Oh,
like I think
geez.
the Raiders posted it of just like their guy and shit like that. It was like a hype video of him like getting like reps in and shit like that, working out and stuff. And I'm like, dude, they're all in on him. Devontae Adams likes him, but Devontae Adams also said he liked Jimmy G last year, and then we saw how that ended up. So like, I
Yeah.
think
He
Devontae
like
Adams,
he like
team
Derek
ain't worth
Carr too.
he's gonna yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like I think he's one of those guys that's gonna say anyone that's in there is like, oh yeah, that's my guy. It's like because he just wants them to play well. Like he just wants to win. Like if you
Yeah.
guys watch receiver, he literally
If you
just wants
say anything other than that, all ESPN and everything else is gonna be like, "Oh, the fucking wide receiver quarterback room not getting along."
yeah,
You
Diva
know,
already.
drama. Yeah, drama. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
so
like
that's what I mean. So that doesn't do anything for me. But like, where do we see Gardner Minshew? Like, what is success then? Like for you guys, because what do they? I think they had 7 wins last season. So what like they had quarterback roulette of Jimmy
Yeah.
G and Aiden O'Connell, and I think maybe
Yeah.
one more in there too. But like, where is the success at then? Because this is now Pierce's second. This will be his first full year after that whole travesty last year, right? So it's like with
Mhm.
the whole what's his name from the Patriots? I forgot his name already. Why am I drawing a blank? The offensive coordinator for the Patriots that just took over the Raiders job and then got fired
Yeah.
last year. What?
Um.
None of us? Wow,
No clue.
No.
we suck.
No. No. Yeah. I'm not giving names, but I think success for the Raiders is going to be something easy. Like if they go 9,
9-8.
yeah, this is
9-8.
better than last year.
Yeah.
We're in this like
Minshew,
with it
Minshew's
being
a
so
1-year
bad.
deal too, though. I believe, right?
Yeah.
that sounds right. I mean, he's been doing when he just fills in. He's been doing great. Like
No,
it's
2
just
year.
it's just whether he can sustain that throughout the
2
season.
years, 25.
Yeah.
But one question for you though. So you know, I mean, I feel like Jake, you know the Yak Barstool.
Yeah.
You know the guy Titus from there.
Maybe.
To me, I've said this before. Have you ever seen Gardner Minshew and Titus in the same room at the same time?
They look alike.
Those guys, they've got the great stash going on.
Mm,
This guy. Fancy does too. You ever see him in the same? Josh McDaniels. Goodness gracious.
there it is.
That's
That
what
was
it
an
was.
easy one too.
That's
Yeah.
gonna bother the hell out of me. I knew it was something simple, but I'm like, I couldn't get it out.
Have you seen Burt Reynolds and Fancy in the same room?
It's my uncle. So
Yeah, no, I think that's fair though. 9-8. I think that's more than fair. I think they have potential though to go like 10-7. I think they have a better defense than people think. And
I feel like the over under on Raiders is way less than that though.
yeah, probably is. It's probably
It's
like
got to be like
7.5.
6, yeah, 6
Like
or
6.5,
7.
7.5. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well, I think bet the
Well,
over on them.
I will say, did you see the Cardinals is at 8.5?
Well, I mean, when Kyler Murray, he can
That's
play.
what I'm saying is people are gonna bet on the under, but it's like if Kyler Murray comes out and it's Kyler Murray that brought them to like a 12-4 playoff run, it's like that $100 that you threw down is gone because it's like he will win them 10 games. Like
yeah, especially with the he's got
legs and it
he's
looks
got
like a
two
little kid stealing candy when he's running, but it's like it
two
works.
shiny new
Yeah,
toys.
dude, he literally just fucking
He's
Yeah.
got
dude,
he's
they
got
gotta get him and Pacheco on the same team, dude. Just fucking run 20 run plays and just see them both fucking run.
Dude,
It's
and
ridiculous.
what's that Deuce Vaughn from the Cowboys? That one that's like 5'6".
Yeah.
Oh my god, have them all in the background. They look like that NFL Nickelodeon play thing that they freaking
When they
go
to-
out and
they
play
don't even-
60
They don't
minutes.
even animate it, dude. It's just them. It's just
Yeah.
it's like fucking backyard baseball, but for
Oh my god, dude. Yeah.
backyard
So
before we get to the next list, it is coming back. They announced it. So there is going to be a new backyard baseball game that is made soon. Talk about childhood. We knew we were going to get into it. Fields Wilson. I'm sorry. Fields and Russell Wilson.
Yeah, they've got 2 potential new
They still
starters,
haven't
right?
announced the starter, right?
Who has more to lose?
Wilson. He's done career
He's
wise.
got a ring though, so why does he care?
That's true. I think he just
I
wants.
I feel like
I think he wants to play.
the Broncos already lost either way
Yeah.
going into
Yeah.
it.
No matter who wins the starting job, Broncos lost. Like,
Yeah.
But no, I think I genuinely think if this doesn't work out for Russ, he's done. Like he's done, and that might be okay with him. That might be a loss for some people, but like Fields will be in the league and he will get another chance with another team. If Minshew and Baker Mayfield and guys like that are getting other chances, someone with the Fields' talent on the run and everything else, and he stays healthy, he'll have more chances somewhere else. Like he just will.
Yeah.
Like so,
Fields'
I
problem
think.
is he just didn't get enough time at one place. Like at least Baker, he had what 3 years
Oh,
at
and
the
yeah,
Browns.
Fields was I think 4 with 5 different coordinators or some shit like that. It was
Yeah,
like
like it was.
I mean, who's gonna
Yeah,
have success with that? I mean, you
yeah,
saw with Baker, it's like yeah, he had a little. I mean, and Fields did have a little success at one point, like he made
yeah,
Pro Bowl and whatever else. And it's like
yeah,
just like Trubisky did. But when you change coaches and offensive coordinators every fucking year, it's like you learn one guy's thing and then it's someone
yeah,
else's. Well, I don't want you doing that. Well, he just told me to. Okay, why won't you do this?
yeah,
Okay, next guy comes in, not that this. It's like, well, fuck, I just did that, but that guy told me. It's like you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like
Oh yeah,
that'd be so confusing to me.
it was
One guy
super
likes you,
hard.
one guy doesn't like you. You know what I mean? It's like
And then whatever receivers you have, whatever O line you have, it's like they're relearning it also. And so if everybody's
even if
learning
you figured it
something
out,
at a
they might
different
not have.
pace,
You're getting sacked more. It's like yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's like it makes everybody look worse.
Yeah, and so I think
Imagine going to
Pittsburgh
the
is more of a
Bears.
stable thing for him. I
Yeah,
think Mike Tomlin's got his way of doing things, and you're gonna come in,
that's
once
what I
you
was gonna
figure it
say.
out, you're gonna be set up for
Yeah,
success. Maybe not 300-yard success, but it's gonna be 180, 220 yards passing, but he's gonna rush for 60 to 80, and then
yeah.
Najee and Jalen Warren are gonna rush for whatever, and they're gonna win a game fucking 16 to 8. You know,
Oh
it's gonna
God,
come down. That's the Steelers football, man. They're gonna keep you under 20 points, and if they can get 3 touchdowns on you, they win. Like
So
pretty much.
I see Fields as being in a great position just because you have a great coach that's going to be able to mentor
And I
you.
think he wants him there. Mike
Yeah.
Tomlin, like, wants him there. It's like
And then I think the flip side of it is Russell Wilson and his just corniness, like his that just weird positive
that's why
attitude.
dude, some people think that Russell Wilson's gonna be like this mentor for Justin Fields. He doesn't have it. There's no way
No,
Russell Wilson's gonna be a mentor. I don't
he's going
think
to piss him
he's
off if
yeah,
anything.
I feel like I've heard nothing but bad like from teammates saying that he's a piece of shit, like Richard Sherman and guys that won Super Bowls with him. It was just like you can't Marshawn Lynch. I feel like I trust Marshawn Lynch with that information quite a bit. Like it's like Marshawn Lynch was like, no, that dude's a douchebag. Like
He'll
it's like
speak his mind,
yeah,
right?
and so it's like if that guy was cool, Marshawn Lynch would say he was cool. You know what I mean? It's like I think I trust Marshawn over like what our opinions are of him, and it's like I just don't see him like getting beat out by Justin Fields and then having him like hold the Justin Fields hand and like help him out. I just don't because the way he sees that is like my career is over. Fuck this team. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I got paid from the Denver, so whatever.
yeah. And Mike Tomlin may not want Russell Wilson doing that.
Yeah.
He might be like, I had Big Ben. Let me tell you something.
Yeah. Hey Russ, shut the fuck up. Go eat a Subway sandwich.
Yeah,
Right. He's on
yeah,
$1 million deal, all right? So
They might just cut him. I mean,
they
if
just
it gets bad, they might
signed
just
it
cut
because
him.
that's a great bargain, right?
Oh, it is.
Why not do that?
Yeah.
So
No, if Russell Wilson works out and he ends up being like solid, because we looked at Russell Wilson's stat last season and he threw like 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions or something like that. And
yeah,
it wasn't bad. So it's like if he does
yeah.
work out, I don't think it's bad for Justin Fields. Not that he's going to teach him that, but just the fact of like Justin Fields is just a younger version of Russell Wilson. Like
Mhm.
he has the potential to be. You know what I mean? Like Justin Fields is still like 25 years old. It's like if
Yeah,
that works out for them, Russell Wilson goes and retires after a 10-7 run for the Steelers, and then Fields comes up on his $3
yeah,
million deal and plays for them. It's like I think the Steelers could be set up for a lot of success if Wilson pans out.
yeah.
And then the last situation that we're going to talk about, and probably one of our um, participants on this podcast's favorite quarterback of all time, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. He played for 28 seconds, which most men will say that is a lot of time.
That's plenty.
It's plenty.
So we're giving him a DNQ, right? We're saying because he started the game, but he didn't get to
He
play
just carried the
season.
flag out. That's all he did.
Yeah. So he is on a new team still in
Does
his
it worry
starters.
you at all that he did it on Monday Night Football, and he's got Monday Night Football Week 1?
No,
Do you think it's in his head at all?
no. He does too many drugs. I mean, he's worked whatever demon he might have about it happening again. I don't think
He went to
exists.
some African jungle for that shit and got it
Dude,
figured out.
he's been mellowing out in like fucking mud and everything
Okay, so
else.
before we
Like,
get into this, Aaron Rodgers, Monday Night Football, Week 1 in San Francisco. Who wins
he gets his revenge for the
for all those Green Bay days?
for the snow game NFC Championship that
He just
we
shits on their parade.
yeah.
He's the reason that San Francisco declines.
This is like the start of their slide.
You see, I'm just amping him up, man. Like,
That's it.
I'm like, he didn't even think about it, but now that it's like,
No.
it's gone. It's in Fantasyland, and there's no return in it. It's gone. It's not your ball no
It's-
more.
What
Like,
do you
That's what's
think?
happening.
Four touchdowns to
if the
Garrett Wilson.
49ers go like 10-7 and miss playoffs, or they become like a wild card, he's gonna say it was because of Aaron Rodgers. If they
Yeah,
win
they're
Week 1,
they're gonna go 0-1 off the rip. No, I just don't know how people cannot have as much hype for him and the Jets as they do for Cousins and the
Oh, yeah.
Falcons.
Yeah.
And it's
And
like
the
he's
Jets
had
have a better
longer to
defense.
recover. He's had more success overall as a quarterback. And
Yeah.
you talk about teams that have stuck with the program around somebody. The Jets have been solid and still all in on, a 40-year-old quarterback. So it's like
The Jets probably have the most explosive running back in football. Brees Hall is the most explosive running
Yeah.
back in football right now. He can
Yeah,
make anything happen from any play, and it's like I genuinely mean that. He's the most explosive player.
Yeah.
And then Garrett Wilson, top 10 wide receiver. He's literally only going to thrive under Rodgers. The fact that he can catch over 1,000 yards when the team barely had 100 yards passing a game with 18 different quarterbacks. I mean, fuck, they went Mike White, fucking Zach Wilson. They went who was the other dickbag? Todd Boyle or Tim Boyle or something.
Yeah, I forgot
Like
about him.
it's like we just found fucking guys that work at delis at this point in New York, and they're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, fucking give him a shot. He's got a cool accent. Like it's like Tyrod Taylor. It's like they just went through the list of guys. Or no, Tyrod Taylor's there now. I'm sorry, he was in the Giants last year.
Yeah.
But so it's like I know I'm absolutely with you. I think if you're gonna give Kirk Cousins the benefit of the doubt with a shorter recovery, you got to give Rodgers the same benefit of the doubt, especially when he's throwing to Garrett Wilson, and people forget that he's throwing to Mike Williams too. Mike Williams was one of the best wide receivers, touchdown receivers, 3-4 years ago, consistently, because the only reason he was not anymore is because he keeps getting hurt. But it's like if he can stay healthy, you give Rodgers probably the best duo that he's going to be throwing to since Jordy and Devontae.
Can we get him a tight end though? I feel like if we
Conklin's the only fucking tight end there.
If we can get him a tight end, I think Jets are gonna be scary.
Yeah. They need
See, I will say he's
block,
never been huge with tight ends though. Like he's never been huge. So
True. Yeah.
will that make a difference? And
they're not far enough down the field for him.
Yeah, literally. He's gonna fucking literally Joe Flacco throw, but it'll actually be accurate. But like, yeah. So I mean, with Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams, that's gonna be 2 targets. But Brees Hall, man, I'm telling you, Brees Hall had I think 90 something targets out of the backfield last year with shit quarterbacks. There's only gonna be, I mean, he might have 90 catches this season. Like,
is that who you ended up taking?
Yeah. And I'm not even speaking that because I took him. Like that's the only league I actually got him in. But I think him and Bijan, it's between him and Bijan that are going to be and I think their ceiling only gets higher because of Kirk and because of Aaron Rodgers. Like because those guys, they know how to utilize them, they know how to trick them. You gotta watch those guys. Like last year, Bijan was so good, but no one was fucking scared of Tyler Heineke, and no one was scared of that other dickhead that was in Atlanta. What was the other guy? The other quarterback that was there. They drafted him like he.
Ritter?
Ritter.
Desmond
Ritter. Yeah.
No one's scared of those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And same thing with Brees Hall. He had such a great year last year, and they knew when they snap the ball, the quarterback can't do shit. It's that fucker right there that's fast as shit that you have to stop, and they still couldn't stop him. It's like now you have to stop Rodgers, him, Mike Williams, and Garrett Wilson. It's like, fuck, if they got a tight end, dude, it'd be fucking game over. If Gronk came back.
Oh God, dude.
And speaking of guys coming back,
fans watching him go to the freaking Jets,
dude, and then having to get destroyed by him every single week that you play them because the Patriots suck dick.
Dude.
Speaking of guys coming back, Matt wanted one honorable mention. Matt's specialty is honorable mentions.
Yeah, Tom Brady's been training. He says
he's ready to come back.
He's ready to come back. So
he said that people in this league do not have anything in between the ears, especially those Patriots quarterbacks.
So that would be a crazy storyline. I don't know. I don't know who he would actually go play
Vikings.
for. He could. So
Imagine.
Fuck, dude. Could you guys imagine your playoff?
he better
being
not.
fucked by Tom Brady.
He
He
better
comes in
not.
like week 3, dude. Him and Justin Jefferson just go for like 200 yards a game. That'd be fucking miserable.
The thing is, and Tom Brady
TJ
can do it
Hawkinson for
because
him.
it's only gotten smoother. Like quarterbacks last longer and longer because every year you can only hit them, and now you can only touch them, and then now you can only,
Yeah, it's the safest. It'd be the safest year he can ever play.
like imagine like Brett Favre in the league now, where you're not getting slammed and forgetting where you
And
shit
Stafford,
last.
if Stafford has some brutal injuries, dude. Like
Dude, Aaron
Nate
Rodgers
Cutler.
too,
Yeah.
like 19 freaking collarbone breaks. It's like that
Yep.
were never called a penalty.
It was
It's
just a
like,
good
dude,
hit back then. Yeah,
yeah, by the face mask.
great hit.
Yeah,
Clay Matthews.
Well,
Special.
and the phantom face mask that he got so that he could throw the Hail Mary too. Don't forget Aaron Rodgers did. So
yeah,
poked
that's the
his
thing.
eye
Is,
out,
is
but
it
still.
just it is crazy to think about because he genuinely could come in like if Brock Purdy got hurt and he could just be a field general for the 49ers and he would fucking light the league up. Like
yeah, that would
I
not be
genuinely
fair.
think that too. Like it would be like he took a year off, but it's like, dude, that guy could seriously read a defense better than anyone else. And he's still, like you said, he's still been throwing the football around, still been conditioning like he's in the league. It's like, not that really matters in terms of like he's not running anywhere, but like that like mindset doesn't go anywhere. Like what he knows.
I mean, T.O. is sure that he could come back and compete still today.
Yeah, I feel like it's different though. That's wide receiver.
I mean,
but
but
we
if you
saw
know how
Peyton
to,
Manning play. That thing I sent you today of Peyton Manning throwing 7 touchdowns. I don't know if you watched all 7 touchdowns, but some of those were fucking ducks. And I mean, like they were literally thrown and they were just wobbling, barely getting to the guy. It's like
But he
Brady
could
can
read
do that.
it. But
Brady
he could
can do
read
that,
it
but
so well.
He's got more velocity than that. So to me,
I know.
it's like if Manning could do that with the 30-yard passes that are just like ducklings being thrown, it's like Brady can go in there and play 10, 15 yards of football with CMC, Kittle, Debo, and Brandon Ayuk and have no problem at all. Like
probably.
I think that's the best situation for him because they have the best offensive line too. That'd be crazy to see. I hope that doesn't happen.
But for how much money?
I mean, fuck, he just got paid by CBS, didn't he?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what would it cost to get Tom Brady to come out of retirement?
Almost one of those things where he doesn't want to stop playing. So like he might just even be like, dude, look, give me 10 mil. I'll play the rest of the season for you. Because dude, teams are still calling up Big Ben.
Yeah.
Like late in the season, like Philip Rivers just said he got a call last year just about somebody like they got hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
they called him
the reason why because they got all the way to Joe Flacco. It's like he wasn't the first one they called.
They go back to 2010. Like, which one of these fuckers are still alive? Nope, he doesn't want to play. Nope, Joe. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Andrew Luck changed his number. Otherwise, I would have called him.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
But, you know who didn't get a call? Colin Kaepernick. Just saying.
He's gonna be a coach for the Chargers. They're saying.
I know. He got offered
what a great
that.
fit.
Yeah.
Go back to old Harbaugh.
Yep. All right, just like that. Just like that. There's our the new quarterbacks and rookie quarterbacks talk. Matt's got one trivia question for us this week. So we'll see you guys over there.
All right, let's end the show with trivia time. We talked about some of the rookies. We talked about some of the new starting quarterbacks. So I want to kind of lead you into the question here today, which is, can you name the rookie or rookies to win the NFL MVP?
Rookie or rookies, as in like.
This could have happened multiple times. I don't want to limit you.
So you're not going to give us a hint.
It's only happened once, so
okay.
But I didn't want to lock it in for you. But it is not in recent history.
Okay, I was gonna say the only thing that like that pops into my mind, like when I don't know why, but I know it's not it, but I was thinking Russell Wilson because he won that Super Bowl's rookie year, but it's definitely not Russell Wilson, and it's not recent.
Yep. But it's one of those studs You know.
Oh, you know what? I actually know this. Fancy?
I'm trying to figure out what we consider recent. Like,
Oh, if I'm correct on this, it's
is it
I don't know.
80s?
I don't know if he's alive.
Oh,
Only reason I know is because of Madden Ultimate Team. Because of his card.
interesting.
Running back?
Correct. 9 touchdowns out of his 12-game season.
That's how long ago it was, as they played 12-game seasons.
Jesus Christ.
900 yards.
Fancy's just gonna start naming like some of the oldest names, like Earl Frank. Like he's just gonna like what sounds old?
Fucking Thomas Jefferson. God.
Was it George Washington and his
yeah.
and his ship?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Jim Brown is my guess.
100%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Once
Great
I
pull.
realized it,
Great
I was
pull.
like, I was
That was
thinking
the
Russell Wilson. I was thinking of
Browns.
few things. And
Yep.
what's that?
Yeah, he was with the Browns. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I knew that was the Browns.
Yeah.
Like if you ever like look up anything, it's like the team that started with Jim Brown. You know, it's Jim Brown is like their like Lombardi. You know what I mean? It's like that's
Yeah,
their
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Like, and like I said, I don't
Yeah.
even know if he's alive anymore.
I think
Anyone
so.
know?
I think he's up there, but I think because I want to say I saw something about him.
That he passed away.
He died.
Oh, last year. Okay.
died last
Yeah.
year.
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a beast. I mean,
It's crazy because when you look up his name too, like the first thing that popped up was literally like Jim Brown, civil rights activist. Like that's how long ago he.
Yeah.
1936 was when he was born, and he fucking went to Syracuse.
He's got the same birthday as my stepmom.
It's like back then, like what the fuck was Syracuse though? I feel like Syracuse would just be like a local community college that like I would have went to. You know what I mean? It's like there's no way Syracuse was as big. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's probably the size of my middle school. Like so.
I remember him.
Oh yeah,
in,
that was definitely fun. It didn't make me think a little bit right away though. I don't know why. When I saw it, I just saw rookie, and then I was like Russell Wilson, and I was just like, wait a minute, that's
Yeah.
because he won a Super Bowl rookie year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the year that he beat the sheriff to do it?
No. Yes. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
that Super Bowl
Because
started
that
off
was the first year
that
with the
Super Bowl
freaking
started off with him
the
snapping the
safety.
ball over his fucking head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine having
Yeah.
squares that year, or imagine having like the first touchdown or first points being scored, like a field goal or whatever, and he fucking snaps it over his head first snap for a safety, dude. Oh,
Yeah. That's my luck. If I've ever gotten 7-7, it's always been like never that.
yeah.
I don't
But
buy that shit anymore.
all right,
They're
hey,
firing people at work over that.
yeah,
Like they can't sell them at work. Can't talk
Jeez.
about it. Yeah.
Lottery stuff.
Like football squares.
Oh, damn. I feel like it's crazy. I feel like there's so many work leagues and work squares and work like.
Oh yeah, it's a big no-no.
Wow.
Yeah.
don't want you guys
Interesting.
being social.
Yeah. No bonding. Anyway.
No bonding. Just
Yeah.
go in your corner. Shut up.
Yeah.
But hey, lots of fun though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed everything. Lots to talk about. Obviously, I mean, there's so much going into it. Like we said, 2 Thursdays before we get to the nitty gritty of it all. Best time of year, you know. You guys got anything else for us?
No, I have to wrap stuff for me.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So we'll be getting back on our schedule as the season starts. I know it was about a month since we posted, but we're back. Once the season starts, you know, week 1, we're gonna have an episode being shot out every single week where our picks are out, our DK stuff is out. We're gonna have a 3-leg parlay every single week. That's up on the socials, TikTok's made, all that stuff. So make sure you guys are tuned in to not only the podcast but our socials as well, because we will be very, very active on them going into the season. And yeah, that's all you guys got to say. Appreciate you guys tuning in. You know, yeah, that's all we got.
Till next
for you.
time.
Yep.
Till next
see ya.
time, guys. Later.
Bye.